Hello, wonderful mamas. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. And I know that there's something that I want to talk to you today about. If you're not having the most fantastic day, it's about burnout. If you feel like you have burnout, you are just like, I'm done, I'm burnt out, like all the things are just overwhelming and it feels like everything is happening at once, or you're just kind of in a hamster wheel. Um, that's easy to happen. Like as a mom, like that's super easy to just feel like you're constantly going. And there's the next thing. You finally get to a point where you're stopped, and then you look around. You're like, this feels strange. Like I'm just sitting here. I don't know what to do. Like you feel like a fish out of water when you're just sitting. That's crazy, right? Like we shouldn't have to feel strange when we're just sitting. But sometimes when we're just totally burnt out, that's what happens. So I kind of want to chat and walk you through that a little bit today. So there's 3 steps that we're just kind of going to do a quick run through that I help walk my clients through when they're in a situation like this. So the first thing is to recognize that feeling. So someone can say, you're a mom, you go, oh, I have all these things and we're just super busy. There's nothing wrong with the word busy. There is nothing wrong with saying you have a full plate. There is nothing wrong with using that language that I've found, at least. But we also need to recognize the feeling of that we feel burnt out. So I feel like sometimes we'll say, oh, I'm super busy and we have all of these things, etc., which that's fine. But are you really busy? Or when you're talking about all of it, it almost seems like you could take that as an opportunity to recognize that feeling that you are feeling burnt out, that there's a lot of things going, and that's okay to say, I have a lot going. This is overwhelming, or this is making me feel like I need to take a break, etc. That's the first step, is just kind of understanding that it's okay to call it what it is, even though sometimes we have like this badge of honor when we say we're busy or we don't have the time. That's such a thing, right? Like, let's try to eliminate that. I would love to see the badge of honor for the mom who's doing what she loves. If she's going for a hike, taking a picture, everybody saying, good for you, I'm so glad you did that on your own, etc. She's by the pool or she's swimming, whatever she's doing. I would love to see that being a badge of honor instead in that place. We will get there eventually. So the second part I kind of hinted on is understanding that feeling and accepting it, saying, okay, here we go. I am now saying, I'm accepting that that's what this is. I have a lot of things going. I'm feeling overwhelmed and I don't know where to go from here. Okay? So that's good. It may feel like it's even more of a challenge to accept it. And that's understandable. There's a lot of things where we kind of put blinders on and we intentionally try to not pay attention to it. And, sometimes that can help and other times it can't. So, learn to accept those feelings and realize that, it may be good for you to do so. So the third portion of that is to kind of say, okay, I'm going to release this for a minute. I understand, or it doesn't have to be a literal minute, but understand, okay, I'm going to, try to step back, take a step back and say, this is what I have. This is what's going on. So you can look at it from several different perspectives, right? You can say, okay, I realize this is just temporary, or I can find the joy in what this is because, or, this is not working. This does not make me happy. This is not positively enhancing my life or those around me by doing these. And then you can reevaluate. That's what's so nice about that third step is sometimes when we release, things happen in miraculous ways. So yesterday I was texting a friend, kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen with some steps moving forward with a particular circumstance. And there's a few people that we were trying to coordinate with and get something going and weren't really sure how to proceed. And then right as the friend and I are texting back and forth, she receives an email from somebody and it was very clear how we were going to proceed, which that was so nice because that person, it happened naturally. So we took the step back. We said, okay, let's take just a minute and try to figure this out. And then, ta-da, that's what happened. So sometimes when we realize like our stronghold on trying to figure things out and things being just a certain way, sometimes it just is unnecessary. Which, as someone who likes to be organized, I know someone who likes to be organized and have everything a certain way, etc., that's really hard to accept sometimes. But when you take a step back, it's also easier to remove some of those overwhelming emotions when you take that step back and you say, okay, I get it. I understand. I'm feeling overwhelmed. What can I do about this? How can this change? What is there? And you know what? Sometimes the taking the step back could mean going for a walk or not thinking about it for a while, or maybe getting somebody else to talk to about it. So maybe those are options for you as well. So number one is recognizing that it's okay to feel overwhelmed. That's okay. That's normal. That's how we can all get at certain points. Number two is to accept it. Call it for what it is. Say, I'm overwhelmed. This is what's happening. And then number three is to kind of release it and say, okay, I get it. I need to take a step back. Let me figure things out in a way where I can proceed and move forward in a manner that's better for me and for those around me as well. So, because other people can feel and sense when things are going on with you too. So, it's hard for us as moms sometimes to say, okay, this is what's best for me. But in reality, a lot of times it can also be best for our family too. So, please keep that in mind. And I hope you make this day the best day ever. Bye.